somewhere between 20 and 40,000 years ago, long before anyone has planted a single seed, long before the word agriculture means anything to anyone alive.
It's a wolf. Not a cute one. A genuine Ice Age wolf, bigger than the wolves you're picturing right now, built for taking down megafauna, and completely capable of killing every human at that fire if it wanted to. Here's what makes this different from every other domestication story you've heard. Two apex predators competing for the exact same prey in the exact same landscape, each one capable of ending the other. This should not have ended in friendship. And yet, here we are, tens of thousands of years later, and there's very possibly a dog asleep on your bed right now. So how did we get from two rival predators who could kill each other to good boy who sleeps at the foot of the bed? Let's get into it. The leading theory has a name: the commensal scavenger hypothesis. In plain language, some wolves started raiding the leftovers at the edges of human camps. Not all wolves, just the ones with a particular temperament, lower stress responses, able to tolerate the sight and smell of humans without their whole nervous system screaming at them to run. Researchers call this a difference in flight distance, how close a threat can get before an animal bolts. Most wolves kept their distance. A few didn't. And those were the ones eating consistently, while the rest of the pack went hungry after a bad hunt. If that sounds familiar, it's almost exactly the same mechanism that self-domesticated cats thousands of years later, except this is happening tens of thousands of years earlier to an animal that could actually kill you for a completely different reason. Cats came for mice that showed up because of grain. Wolves came for bones that showed up because of hunting. No farming required, no fixed settlement required, just leftovers and a wolf bold enough to get close. Here's where it stops being simple opportunism. A wolf tolerating human proximity gets fed more consistently than one that doesn't. And over generations, the wolves lingering at camp were breeding with each other, not with the wary wolves deeper in the wilderness. Nobody designed this. The wolves were sorting themselves, generation after generation, into tolerant enough to stay near the fire and too wary to bother. And in return, something happened almost by accident. A wolf near camp has excellent hearing, an incredible nose, and a strong instinct to react to anything unfamiliar in the dark. A predator, a rival tribe, anything moving out there gets noticed by the wolf long before it gets noticed by the humans. It's not trying to protect anyone. It's just reacting to intrusion into its territory. But to the humans by that fire, a wolf growling at something unseen in the night is functioning as an alarm system. And during an ice age, surrounded by cave lions and rival bands, that's worth keeping around. So now two species are accidentally exchanging value. Wolves get consistent scraps instead of an unpredictable hunt. Humans get an early warning system they never trained or asked for. Neither side is domesticating the other yet. They're just two predators discovering that proximity has upside. So now two species are accidentally exchanging value. Wolves get consistent scraps instead of an unpredictable hunt. Humans get an early warning system they never trained or asked for. Neither side is domesticating the other yet. They're just two predators discovering that proximity has upside. Here's where the story genuinely splits from the cat story, in a way that changes everything downstream. Wolves are pack animals. They already have hierarchy, cooperative hunting, and a deep, evolved ability to read social signals from each other. Cats never had to evolve any of that. A cat's ancestor hunted alone and needed almost nothing from other cats socially. A wolf needed to read a dozen subtle signals just to survive inside its own pack. And that social wiring transfers remarkably well to reading humans. A wolf pup raised near people picks up on human gesture and tone with an ease a kitten simply never developed because it never needed to. That difference, pack animal versus solitary hunter, is arguably the entire reason dogs became shaped by us while cats stayed chosen by them. Humans could tap into a wolf's existing pack instincts and essentially insert themselves into the hierarchy. Feed the wolf, and on some level, it starts reading you the way it would read a senior pack member. Cats never had that software installed. There was no hierarchy to join, just a transaction. Mice for tolerance.
And once humans realized certain wolves could be raised to be loyal, alert, and useful for hunting, something happened that never happened with cats. Deliberate selection. Humans started actively choosing which pups to raise, which individuals to keep close. This wasn't wolves sorting themselves anymore. This was humans deciding which animals got to eat, breed, and stay. Over thousands of years, that pressure reshaped the wolf far more dramatically than anything that happened to the cat. Skull shape changed, body size exploded into everything from a wolf-sized dog to something that fits in a handbag. And behaviors emerged that don't exist anywhere in wild wolves, including the exaggerated, puppyish expression dogs use specifically on humans, an expression researchers believe evolved simply because it worked. Dogs that made that face got fed, kept, and bred more successfully.
Sit with that for a second. Wild wolves don't make puppy dog eyes at each other. Dogs invented that expression as a tool, specifically for communicating with us. And this is the fork in the road that explains everything about how dogs and cats exist in your life today. A dog taken from human care and released into true wilderness does not thrive. Its entire evolutionary trajectory for the last 20 to 40,000 years has bent toward needing a human structure to slot into, a pack, a leader, a role. Take that away, and the dog is genuinely lost. A cat released back into the wild does something almost insulting to how much effort we've put into the relationship. It shrugs, adjusts, and carries on essentially unchanged because it was never restructured by us to begin with.
Dogs needed us to become what they are. Cats simply allowed us to be useful for a while. Neither relationship is worse than the other. They're just built on completely different foundations. One on tens of thousands of years of deliberate partnership, forged in a genuinely dangerous Ice Age world. The other on a few thousand years of a wild predator deciding the mice were worth the proximity, and never fully committing beyond that. So next time your dog loses its mind with joy the second you walk through the door, your cat